What up? Welcome back to Extreme Vibe Coding. Today I'm going to be creating a Vite app that uses React and TypeScript and stuff, and we're going to create a tarot card application where I can get my fortune told or whatever. I don't actually know how tarot works, but we're going to find out. Might use some AI, probably not, but we're just going to blast through this in probably 10 or 15 minutes. So we're starting from scratch. So let's jump into it. I have a different view. I'm Steve Ruiz. This is Teal Draw. It's a real background. We got other people, but it's just about me today. We're doing Cursor 2.0 just dropped. We'll be using the new Composer 1. I got my couple Claudes. I'm going to have my my codexes going. We got a couple of other things that we might throw into the mix, but the idea is to just blast through this. It's never been a better time to build, and that time is now. Start the clock. Let's go. So we're going to use, we're doing npm run dev. We have a clean roll down Vite implementation here. So we have right there. Let me go back to this scene. This is what we're going to look at. Ignore my podcasts. Let me see. Actually, this screen, yeah, let's embiggen it a little bit. We got our whisper flow this time. So first thing I'm going to do is create a product or PROJECT.md. This is going to be the project file. Let me increase the font size. I know I'm kind of wasting time here, but I think it'll be better for the video. So I'm increasing my font size. I got my terminal pretty big as well, and the UI is medium big. As long as I don't move this sidebar, then my video will be perfectly fit within these bounds right here, which is what I want for staging. All right, so this is going to be the project. This is going to be a tarot card game. I'm just going to hit whisper here. This application allows a user to play or to have their fortune told using tarot cards, which is, I think, what you do with tarot cards. We're going to say the user lands on a page and it says, like, would you like to have your fortune read? Stretch goal would be authentication, but you know what? Let me do a teal draw here so I can draw while I talk, because I'll be faster that way. I want to have some kind of like thing here, and then I want to have like the cards. And what I understand is that they put down new cards, and then there's an explanation of like what this means or whatever. And so it's think of it like kind of like an AI chat experience, but with grounded, if you will, in tarot. So this one's going to be like the skull or the shitty king or whatever the tarot is. So each one, I don't think that the user does anything except for the next. Maybe there's like a back and forth. Maybe the chatbot asks me a question. So it's like, shitty king. Has there been any any new romance in your life lately? And maybe you can reply. So we're gonna do tarot card game. Think of the layout maybe like this. Mobile, maybe like chat up on top. Avatar maybe off to the side, and then we got the cards here. I think mobile is going to be important. And then you would chat here. So yeah, I'll leak an API key on this today. Maybe we can get one, and I'll switch camera modes or something like that. Now there must be some other thing like Next or something like that, or maybe it's just up to the bot to decide what comes next. But this is going to be the application. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Stretch goals would include authentication, so that you can save your previous experiences, in which case you'd have like a couple more screens, you'd have auth, and you would have maybe even like a landing page with something on it, log in with Google Tarot, AI Tarot, Tarot AI, and the card images. I don't know. Maybe we'll have them created by SVG. But yeah, if you had login, then we would be able to show you your past, your history, so you could compare it against the ground truth, which is reality, I suppose. And like get your fortune told, or like learn about yourself here. And I guess there's an end state. Maybe there's the share. Like we want to get some R value off of this thing. So maybe that's the end state of like, share your tarot, share your thing. Okay. The components that we're going to definitely need a tarot card, which has two states, like face down and then face up. We're going to need the basic chat experience, which is starting to make me think that I should do a Next.js app instead of this, so that we get all that. Let me throw all this out. We'll do a Next.js app here. npm next create next. Is that right? Yes. Create next, maybe. That's not a real thing. What's the next app? God damn it. Next.js create next app, something like that. CLI create next app. npx create. Boom. Gotcha. Blah blah blah. I want that here. We'll use the AI SDK and all that stuff. Default's perfect, wonderful. We'll do that. That should make it easier for the bots to do this. Okay, that was all going into the microphone as well. So let me cancel this. Hopefully that went into the, oh, I deleted it. Fuck. Oh. It went into the folder name. Hang on a second. The whole thing just pastes into whatever field you have running when it goes. All right, which in this case was the name of the folder. That's not what we want. I'm going to use Composer 1, brand new. Clean up this project description for me. Maybe it'll be able to read this and turn this into a much better project description, and this will allow us to. Can I zoom in here? Does that work? Ah, Jesus Christ! Zoom out. Does this? No, that doesn't change anything on the stream. Remove conversational. That was pretty fast. I gotta say, it's not bad. Not bad. Cursor, you built a pretty good model here. Let me or I don't know. we'll see about that. It's wrapping, fortune care, okay. Design, consider, technical stack, Next.js, AI SDK, TypeScript, beautiful. Tarot card component, chat interface. I'm gonna try this. Where was this one? I'm gonna save this into the Tarot wireframes, TLDR. And I will also take this as a copy PNG, paste this here, and then ask for, based on these wireframes, add content to the project.md. So maybe it'll see some stuff in here that, additional components or something else. I think would be great if Cursor could just see TLDraw, and that we would certainly be able to do that, Cursor. But in the next best thing is just giving it an image and saying, hey, this is the design, or this is the stuff that I want done. Can you please go do that? So it is planning its next moves. A little slower on images. It did read the wireframes.tldr, which is kind of funny, because I guess it's just JSON. I don't think it would be able to understand what all the JSON looks like. Great, it did do that. So we have much more content about the different pages and all that. So wonderful. We are flying based on the wireframes that I just drew up. So we're going to keep all of this. And now I want to, something that I've been doing lately is asking for like a kind of issues or something. But I'm gonna try and do this slightly differently, because using file-based issues inside of the repo is pretty interesting. But it can also be pretty shitty if it's not great. But let me do it as well. Create a issue template inside of the issues folder. We're going to do kind of like GitHub style, linear style issue tracking, but we're just going to do it with markdown files inside of the code base here. So inside of the issues folder. So create a template that we can reuse for the different issues that we create. Excuse me. I'm drinking sparkling water, so I may be burpy. Let's see. We got, all right, beautiful. This is happening here. Template, wonderful. Steps to reproduce, expected behavior. It's not really always the issue bug feature, acceptance criteria. That's right. In the issues template, oh, you've made a README already. All right. I was going to say in the README to make sure that you don't over specify the technical implementation details when doing when creating tickets. Like the issues themselves shouldn't have the specifics of like, here's the lines to change, etc. The issues should have either a root cause analysis, in some cases, but also just like, here's the work to be done, the feature, the kind of from a application architecture or UX perspective. But I want to allow the agents to independently come up with the implementation details. Often those implementations are going to be based on other issues or the results of other issues. So I don't want to have the AI kind of like imagining forward the technical state of the repo once they're actually working on this thing, or when they will be working on it. They just don't know at the moment. So keep it kind of lightweight in terms of the implementation details, but yeah, make sure that is part of the README for the issues so that future agents know. Okay, and then that's going to go here. We're going to keep all, and then we're going to slam that in, and that should update this README, which is, yeah, about like how to create a new repo. So let me see. Got this going. Here's our not a Vite, but next app. Wonderful. Looks like a next app. Let's come back here. Good template. That's a lot of information in the template. Make sure this info is in the README as well, or instead. So I'm going to do that. Yeah, you know what? I kind of feel like this. I wish I could increase the font size of just this. Oh, you know what? I can. Hey, there we go. Extra large. Great. Auto clear chat. Max tab count 6. We're going to need that to be 20. Queue message. You know what? We'll just do 10. Queue messages sent immediately. Usage summary. Custom modes. Start agent review on commit. Web search tool. Hierarchical cursor. Ignore. Blah, blah, blah. I haven't actually looked at this on the 2.0. There might be some cool new stuff. Doesn't look like it. There is a new panel, a new agent view. This one here, and we've now taken over the top left, which is a different way of looking at your agents, and we'll use that quite a bit as we rock through this one. Okay, great. And now finally, cursor composer 1. We'll try our best here. No, I'll use the same one. No, I'll use a new one. Okay, now read the PROJECT.md file and create issues for the first milestone of the project, which is framing out the different pages as well as authentication. Now I had cursor connected to my Supabase via MCP, and it recently wiped my database. I'd only given it access to one project, but it decided it needed more than just that project. Or rather, I was not working in that project, and so it was like, I don't know what these tables are. You've asked me to create these tables. There's a bunch of noise in this repo. That's the only one that I have. You've asked me to use MCP. Let me just get rid of all the data that's there and then replace it. That was our. It was this pretty important database that it got rid of, so I wasn't very happy. But at least it did make the new project work. I had to roll that change back. We could do this locally since we don't really have to put it online, so we'll do that. I have Docker running, great. Let me give some more information about that. For authentication and storage and everything, I wanted us to use local Supabase. I have Docker running already. Everything should be set up, but it needs to be installed in this repo, and then it needs to be spun up, basically. We can use auth, but we can do auth with like no email verification. So we'll sign up with email and then have like no email verification, and that should just make things pretty easy for us to be able to log in, and then later when we do our end-to-end tests as well. Let's see about that. Cool. Send that. We have a couple of things: landing log page, authentication system, fortune telling, start page, AI chat reading interface, which I suppose is similar, and then share page. That makes sense. Share page follows mobile first design principles. It's accessible as a route. Okay, good. Related issues related to 4. Right on. Who's assigned to you are? Well, you will be. Now, I think the best part about doing things with markdown files like this is that the agent will use it essentially as its state, as its memory, as its to-do list, and it'll be writing into that kind of constantly as it's working. This is good for me to review, and it's good for me to get a sense of the project, but it's also really good for other agents to review when they're looking back at bugs, in this feature that are inevitable, things like that. Great. Okay. Starting Supabase. Supabase is running, creating an environment file, Next.js, updating the authentication issue. Great. That's exactly what I would have wanted it to do next, which is update the issue, which describes about authentication system issue 2, to be specific to the, hey, this is the local Supabase, etc. Another thing that I'm going to do before we get started, I know that we haven't actually created any routes and everything. Although I could just ask this guy to like, hey, clean up all the default stuff in the app directory. So I don't want any I don't want the website to look like this. It's a lovely design, but I don't need it. And instead, I'm going to say create a new one. This is where this agents thing would be nice, but I do want to look at the files at the same time, so I'll stick here. I want to set up a end-to-end tests with Playwright. Yeah, let's just do that. So, yeah, right on. I find end-to-end tests really, really useful when working with the bots, but you have to do it right, which is you have to make sure that they don't put a bunch of bullshit in your end-to-end tests. You don't want that. They will write the worst tests that you've ever seen, and they will do so constantly, unless you keep them on a pretty short leash. There's also some tricks to make sure that things run quickly, especially when doing authentication, because by default they'll write right into your real database. They'll do like in production even. Good. Okay. Great. So now we have our example here. I'm going to do a writing E10 tests. .md. Okay. So we're going to have to tell them how to write good end tests. And yeah, all good. Cool. It should be done now. Okay. I want you to add information into writing end-to-end tests, but actually not yet. first I want to create fixtures. So the idea with fixtures, okay, I want you to create fixtures, just a single fixtures.ts file inside of the E2E folder. I want this specifically to have fixtures for the user. So I want you to seed the database with information when a test begins, and I want each user to have a unique email address, and then delete the user at the end of the test. But it's important that each user has a unique email address. So what we want, because this is again it's best practices I think for writing intent tests, but also it's really important that we are able to run these things in parallel without each test kind of affecting the data that's available to the other tests. So in this case, there's no collaboration in this app, so it's a little bit easier. If there was collaboration, I would have it create multiple users, like fixture that includes all those users, so that we can kind of say like, hey, is Sally able to see Joan's files, things like that. But in this case, we're just going to do a single user, and then I want a bunch of like fixtures around like the UI itself. Okay, each test gets a unique user that's automatically cleaned up. Beautiful, wonderful. This is good. Create another. You know what? We don't even have the pages yet, so I'm going to stop it. We don't need that. Okay, now let's talk about data. How are we going to do this in state? I'll tell you what I'm most familiar with is just the state that we use in TealDraw. So I might actually do that, which is the signals library that David Sheldrick made for us, one of our engineers, and it's fucking brilliant. So I tend to like to do it, and I will do that here. So I'm going to call this client. I'm going to say this is client.ts, export class client. And then we're also going to have a store, store.ts. Actually, let me make that lowercase because it's not this store export. Okay, so then we store is a schema records, I think is what we call this. No, we're going to call this schema. I'm going to add npm I TealDraw. No, it's at TealDraw/state and state react and store and what else? TealDraw/utils. Just like everyone kind of like comes with their own toolbox. I think this is just ours. What we're going to have is the client is going to have a store, and then the client is going to be managing that store is going to hold the client state, and then we're going to also have a store full of. Oh no, the store stays. The store stores client state, its records that we can kind of like query against and pull things out. But we're also going to have like kind of managers for different services, such as like Supabase. And this is going to be Supabase manager, and this is going to have constructor. It's going to have client. Well, let's make that private. Cool. Great. And then we will just make sure that this is, the store doesn't need one. Store is just going to be a store. We have records. So what kind of records do we need in this? I might be over-engineering what we need in this app, because now that I think about it, it's pretty simple. I would say the simple is like a kind of like a game. So like a game record is the record of the game played by the user, and we're going to just describe that session of like getting your fortune told as a single game, and we are going to just maybe define other things kind of like independently and kind of hang them or associate them like with foreign keys to the game, such as like messages, but I don't think we really need to. We could also just jam stuff into the game, but each record is going to be reactive. So like if we want to have control over how often things render, then we could do them as separate ones and just kind of order them. But in that case, we might not need this at all. We might just do it in state. Yeah, let me think about this. Problem is we're going to need a real-time system, and that's really annoying to set up, but we'll get that set up. Okay, so let me do this. Yeah, okay. So export. Let's see, what is it? It's like base record, game record. Is it base record? Base record, game, game record ID. I think it's something like this. This is such a weird thing. Type game record ID is record ID game record, and then this actually becomes part of this. I think that's the type, which is very unusual. But let's do this. So game record. I might have to see if I have a different one of these things somewhere. Good. That was not customer data. That was just my own data. Let me grab this real quick. Well, let's see. We have the game record, base record, create record type. Type name is game. Type record is game record. And yeah. Config. Monkey scope validator. I don't think we need any of that, do we? Which one is missing? Scope is document. Okay, I think that's right. With default properties. All right, there we go. Sorry, this is a place where the bots can't really help me that much, which is kind of a good sign that I'm actually kind of fucking it up a little bit. Game record ID, but I need no. Okay, these are going to be the prompts. ID is going to come from this date created. It's this number. Actually, I'm going to store these as strings or numbers. Strings or numbers. I don't know. Date completed, number, date shared. Maybe we can consider shares as different ones, actually. And then let's say messages. Message record. And we're going to say this is either the user or the tarot reader. The message content string. Oh, this doesn't need to be. This can just be a tarot game message. There we go. Game message. This message is game message. Good. I think that's it. And yeah, let's add those. Date created. Oh yeah, this has to be this. Date completed is null. Yeah, this is null. This. It's also validator. Do I want to do that? Yeah, just because this does keep the bots. So how you do? I mean, you can have shitty state. Shitty state's fine. No problem with shitty state. But if you do have a kind of a well-typed, self-enforced, or well-enforced yeah, I need to do that. State, you know, then what you'll see is that the bots just are better because the errors are better. T.object, and then this will be date created, date messages, and then I want to have like game message validator. Nah, yeah, it's got it now. T.string, I think doesn't, yeah, it's just like this. T.literal, T.string, yeah. No, this is T.enum, literal enum, boom, boom, boom. Okay, good. And then this will also need to do this. I think that is right. No, this is this. You can say a validator here. Boom. Okay, so this is going to do some like runtime validation for us, which is going to be pretty good because now we will get. What happened to my? Oh yeah, content role, user reader, date created, string, content string, nullable, string or null. Why is this complaining? String null is not missing game record ID type name. Yes. All right. ID is. What do I have a t.id? No. String. I think it's gonna complain because the type name is not there. God damn it. ID, reader. ID is string. Do we need IDs for this as well? Message, game message. I guess so. All right. One more thing. Type string is not. Oh man, how do they do that? They do. ID of. Where's teal draw? Sorry, I'm burning time here, playing around with TL shape. No, TL camera. Something that I know has an ID validator is something like that. Oh my god. All right, here we go. I don't know why we don't export this, but this is ID validator. Hell of a function there. Let me go. ID is. There we go. All right. TypeScript is happy. I'm happy. We have our end-to-end tests. Simple there. Now we need our store. Schema.ts, and that is export const schema equals create schema, I think, or like schema store schema dot create, like this. That's good. And then we have the store export const store is create store based on the schema. Is that right? Yeah. Okay. And finally, we can do this. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do that here. Store schema store is going to be here. Okay. Again, this is the part where the extreme vibe coding kind of slows down while we get set up. Okay. I want to do an initialize, and I also want to do a dispose. And do I want to do something else? I want to have like a game state record, or like instance state record. You guys can do this for me. create a instance state record based on game record that has like just an active instance ID, which either is the ID or is null. And another property that describes like the name of the state that we're in. And that is, like the game state is either like, well, you know what? Never mind. We're going to use routing for that. We'll be fine. When the game ends, we'll just move to the next thing. I mean, we could run the whole app as a kind of like state machine that's just based around the hang on, I need a chord. That's based around that's like driven by the state here. But we can also just use URL routing. Okay, does it do it? Yeah, it does. Great, awesome. Keep all. Active instance state ID is null, but we will create one when we do this. So when we create it, we're going to put this, which is we're going to create a new instance. We don't need this. This is going to be created automatically. And you know what? Why don't we do this? Const instance state is that. We also need to add that to the schema, which is here. Oh, you know what? They've done it already. Let's also export type schema or type records. Is this cool? Now we're rolling. Let's keep all that. We have the instance state. We have the game records type. Okay, now we have this. We don't want active instance ID. Actually, we want the like active game ID because we're going to have a couple of these things. So active game ID. All of the games will be different. The instance itself will just have its own ID. And then I want it other way. This is game.id. Cool. Game instance state. So our store is going to start with both the game and the instance state. And then when we do this, we'll dispose the store. That'll just kind of clear out the data. If we wanted to, we could be also persisting this stuff between reloads, but I'll give that a second to. I won't do that quite yet. I'll add IDB just in case. Okay, now we're ready to start the game, or really start going. I want you to build out all of the pages for all the different. Actually, you know what? Why don't you just do issue 1? Yeah, just issue 1. No, I want you to build out all the pages. Just stub them for now, but they should all exist inside of the app directory. Hopefully, it looks at product.markdown and is able to figure out what it needs to do based on what we have so far. Hour 38 minutes into this thing. Who knows when I started? Let's go. Fixing a typo in the reading page. Adding input field. April input field. Oh, cursor. Robot made a weird spelling mistake. I've never seen that before. Okay. Look in the share page. Oh, actually, I guess no. They were. These are all new. Good. I feel like the share page is really more of a share state. I feel like the share page is more like a share state, like either a modal or something. But we'll keep it. And then, of course, we need to also add shadcn, I guess, would make sense to do this. We're going to use shadcn components in this application. So could you please set that up for me as well? Gotcha. Nice. Where are we at? Shaped CN, shad CN, class variance authority, shad CN. All right, so it figured that out. I'm curious what it thought I said when I said shape CN. Share page, share modal. Okay, so they kind of stubbed out a share modal. That it should be in components, yeah. This is this, boom. And now I want, I also want like, this is where we need to start, they're doing multi-agent stuff. I want to have fixtures for all of the pages separately. So I want a class, a fixture that will have essentially nothing for now because we don't have anything, but I want, eventually I want to have like locators for all of the buttons that are going to be used on the page, all the inputs, etc. And I want those to be identified wherever possible with test IDs rather than like text content and stuff like that, because that's going to be changing. But the test IDs should be stable, so that's what I want you to use. We'll do this on a different agent. Stub all pages in the app directory, clean up defaults. Oh yeah, that's been done for a while. Stubbed pages, we got the Shad CN coming in, Tailwind theme, great. CSS variables, wonderful. Does the page still load? I haven't checked that in a while. Looks like it is. Looks like, we have, do we have Tarot AI? If I do, well, I guess I wouldn't be able to. Let me go to landing page. Now, this is the only thing, is that switching between the agents and the editor is quite annoying. Do they have E? So, all right, Command E will do it, but oh, look at that UI, like kind of lagging as we switch it. Like, I kind of preferred it better as a separate window, to be honest. I didn't like having to switch between Command, toggle window and, the next window, previous window. But on the other hand, these are big pages. I'm noticing the lag. That's a little unfortunate, I gotta say. I don't know. I would probably have them as two separate windows still. But, yep, whatever. Well, this is all screwed up now, also. Is this really? Like, what happened to my page? Did I do this? Maybe I did this. Let me try and put things back. I don't remember closing any of this, but I'll put this back here. This is still over here. Initialize, manually install components. Okay, good. Scan the product.md file and the items inside of the issues and grab the components that we know that we're going to need, like button and input, modal or dialogue. It's pretty much just all the things that you can kind of guess pretty well that we'll need in this app. Okay, and then where are we? We are getting pretty close. I want to have something be doing. You know what? I'm clouding just because I have all this stuff on the screen and I'm not really using it. We're going dangerously skipping permissions as well. I want you to create a context provider that puts an instance of the client into context. I want it to return null until the thing is in context. Okay, there we go. All components are in there, so they've added button input. Great. Build out the first page. You know what? Take issue 001. So hopefully we're going to need more pages for this, depending on how we do authentication. In this case, we're doing like, in this case, we are doing local Supabase. We're using email. We'll probably need a kind of fake email service as well if we really did want to fully test this. But in the meantime, can't module not found, can't restore at lib. That is the TypeScript paths. but that should be in the our type tsconfig.json. Give me 1 second. All right, we're back. I'm gonna need some more water too. Give me 1 second. All right, I want to know how my fixtures are, whether those are there yet. And it's nice to kind of set that up or frame that before we get into actually building any UI, just because like I want to make sure that the models are using these fixtures when they create that UI. So we have user, landing page, start page, reading page, which I guess is the game page. And yeah, so we're going to create unique users each time using a timestamp. That's good enough. And then we are going to, new start page. Okay, so we have classes for each one of these fixtures, like this. Each one of them has a page. Probably will have like user context. Knows how to get route, get by test ID. That's great because this is going to make it really good. So yeah, like our navigation will have a heading, email input, password input, Google sign-in button. That's not that doesn't exist. But let me see. Does it? Does it? No. Hey, I can't help but notice that the fixtures have a lot of things in them that don't exist yet. Can you remove all of the things with test IDs that don't correspond to reality? Okay, great. Looks like they solved this problem. Oh, wait, you know what? They do. Fuck, that's crazy. It's actually just that the I'm just going to do it in a new chat. Hey, I noticed that the fixtures refer to test IDs that aren't implemented in the UI, such as landing password input. Can you please make sure that all of the items on the landing page have data test IDs that correspond to the fixtures, and also make a note either in the README or anywhere that you're sure that a future bots will find it to do this in the future. Always, like, as you add UI, add those fixtures as well that correspond to the UI, especially if it's interactive. Really only if it's interactive, but it's, sometimes there's others. Because yeah, we do want to be able to run end-to-end tests against this, or specifically we want the AI to be able to run end-to-end tests against this, because they're the ones that, oh, what the fuck is this? It's not even pointing at me anymore. Come on, come on, come on. There we go. They're the ones that need them the most. And we'll really benefit from them, as you'll probably see in a little bit. Adding the test IDs, okay, great. Does this work by any chance? Can I sign in? No, why can't I? Connected, rebuilding this, okay. Client access in any component. Let's see, are we wrapping the, I want to have like an auth manager also in the client, and just for simplicity's sake, make all of the pages use client, because that's, even though we're using Next.js, I don't want to worry about server-side React at the moment. I think it'll be nice to have the backend, the API routes and things like that. And certainly when we start using AI, that'll be really nice. But we could have done it with Vite. We could have just used like a Cloudflare worker or something else. That's my preferred way of doing stateful backends. Not that we need it really for this. Maybe we could even have done like a kind of a tan stack start type of thing, but maybe that's next time. So yeah, I think this should be fine. We'll just mark out everything as use client, and we'll make the entire application kind of like have that root layout with, I want that client provider as well. Let me make sure that it's not added anywhere else in the tree. Client provider, yeah, okay, that's good. Can't resolve client from client. Why not? It's lowercase c. How about that? Wonderful. Okay, auth manager, auth sign in for Google. We're not going to use sign in with Google anywhere, so you can remove that from the entire app. We're just going to stick with email for now. All right, added documentation in writing end-to-end tests. Do we have, let me just try and run this myself. npm run test end-to-end. Let's see that. Boy, am I tired of seeing this puny code. Module is deprecated. Please use a user land definition. For end-to-end tests, we do not want an HTML report. We just want whatever list or whatever's in memory. I don't ever want to see an HTML report. Cool. How's this doing? All right, they all failed. Good. Page dev title, taro/I, example spec. Not even this worked. Let me see how this. Okay, great. Hey, do a quick run our end-to-end tests and tell me whether the failing tests actually matter or not. Like, is this due to bad tests, or is this just because we haven't done the UI that's being tested? Okay, great. So we're really only running like two pages or two agents right now, but we might end up doing a few more. So we have this one's doing this was our intent test, right? Okay. Also make sure that all tests always run headlessly. I never want to see the Chromium browser when you're running tests. Cool. There. Simpler approach. Update the config. I want to run these tests maximally parallel, unless if that's not already done, then make sure that no. I don't want a HTML reporter. I forget what it's called. The thing that's not an HTML reporter. If there is no thing that's not an HTML reporter, I don't want any reporter. That's yeah, and yeah, if the tests aren't already running super parallel, then they should. The other thing is I don't want to test on mobile. I just want to test only on Chromium, only on Chrome, only on desktop. So we want these things to be as fast as possible and have no duplication or no kind of edge cases. It's not about quality. It's about like more TDD, sort of shitty agent TDD. Cool. And then hit my limit. Come on. Are you serious? Are you serious right now? Hit my limit? I'll buy that. I like Whisper. It's good stuff. Let's buy Whisper. Yeah, let's go. Why not? Steve, blah, 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 purchasing distance, TLDRGB. Yes. You got it. All right. Cool. So can I sign in? I should have created an account. I don't know if it was actually doing anything yet. So I made this auth. Yeah, it's not actually doing anything. Set what's this? Updated, always run headlessly. Beautiful. Delete these placeholder tests. Yeah. Let's delete the placeholder tests. We don't need those. Now I want to say we have traces disabled, maximum parallelism, single project, wonderful. Chrome desktop only, single browser, great. Then I'm going to keep all of those. I don't want an HTML reporter. Don't care about this. No HTML. What the? Get the fuck out of here. Yeah. Hey, I really, really don't want any reporter. So make sure that the Playwright config doesn't have any reporters. Okay. So base URL trace is off. Headless is true. Reuse, or like, what is it called? Like where you want to say like use, reuse. Make sure that the Playwright tests, when they run, will reuse the running dev server if there is one. I think there's a config option for this. Okay. Boom. Keep all. Keep all. Keep all. Keep it all. Good. Yes. There we go. You know what? No, this is right. Cool. We don't want it to do that if it's in CI, but we're not in CI. It doesn't matter. Okay. Right. I think it's time to make. Can you? No, you know what? Fuck it. Blah, blah, blah. Can you please implement login? Again, using Supabase auth, we want to use the login screen, the form there. We're doing email. There's no email confirmation necessary. We'll go right into the app. We want to make sure that the user is authenticated before they go to any other page. Otherwise, route them back to the landing page. When a user does exist, I want to put that into state in the auth manager. I should be able to access the user either through Supabase's use user or use session or use auth or whatever. But I should also access it or be able to access it through clients dot what is it, auth manager dot user or something like that. So the user should be available in both places. Yeah, go for it. Meanwhile, I think we can do some of the other pages while this is happening. So yeah, user ID, email authenticated. We do have the sign in. This is kind of like all this stuff should be talking to Supabase. I just want, basically what I'm doing here is just wrapping Supabase. And yeah, that's exactly right. Just in case you don't notice already, the auth manager should basically be a loose wrapper around the Supabase, just in case we want to in the future replace Supabase with something else. We should be mostly talking to Supabase via the auth manager with regard to auth. We should also have this Supabase manager. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Actually, now that I think about it, the auth manager and the Supabase manager feel kind of the same. What do you think? Should we combine those? Now, it would be nicer to have a kind of like a DB manager and then like the auth manager. I'm not sure. One thing that I do want in this is I want some sort of like normalize.ts. This file should be where we convert between the types that are associated with the database and the types that are associated with the clients. So we want to save our users obviously to the database in the whatever the auth scope, but we're going to be storing our games. We're going to be storing all the user's information also in the database, and we might be querying from the database as well. And so when we do that, we're going to have the database records, the things that are coming out of Supabase, but we're also going to have the need to kind of translate between those and our source schema. So a game record that lives on the database might be a little bit different than the game record that lives in the client. For example, its ID is going to be different every time in the client, but the ID is going to be fixed for the database. So we want to have a file where we're kind of like translating between those two, and that's what this file is going to be. And yeah, likewise, we're probably going to have like specific like insert methods in the Supabase manager or the DB manager or whatever we do, but that's kind of going to be much easier to do going the other direction because Supabase gives us like insert types, and yeah, we need to make sure that they come back into client types when we get them from the database. So that's all going to stick here. And then we will, yeah, okay. Hey, can you do the normalized.ts file? That's you for Claude. We have, all right, so they did decide to combine no, they don't. They have, I still see the auth manager there. So what are we doing? Are we combining the auth manager with the Supabase manager? Oh no, you removed the Supabase manager. Expose Supabase client versus client.auth.supabase client. So I don't think this is good. Maybe we add the Supabase client to the client directly. And then we have the auth kind of talk to it that way. Because yeah, I think I don't want to be like talking to the auth when I'm yeah, that's right. Restore the Supabase manager and then have the auth run through that manager. But that manager should be pretty small. It might just only own the client. I'm like the Supabase client. I'm not sure. Actually, you know what? This is all kind of fucky. Is this what I want to do? Client.auth for that client.supabase client for direct DB access. Sorry, I keep changing my mind. Make the client.supabase be the Supabase client, and then create client.auth, which is an auth manager, will receive the client as its parameter, so it can access Supabase via the client.supabase. Make sure that client.supabase actually should be private. The front end should never be talking to Supabase directly. It should be talking to the client, or it should be talking to the client's managers. And then probably create a new like DB manager, a database manager that we'll use to do the inserts and pull information out and so on. And then the data flow will be, we'll probably be using Supabase real-time. And well, actually, I guess we don't really need to do Supabase real-time, but you know what, we're going to do it anyway. We'll subscribe to updates on Supabase real-time and pull them in, and update the store based on the changes that happen in the database. And I don't think we have to write in the opposite direction, although we could update the records in the database based on reactors set up to the different store records. That might be easier, but we might just have different methods, just like update both basically. Okay. So the only issue with vibe coding or thinking in the mouth is that you I often don't. I start talking before I know what I'm talking about. I'm sure you know what I mean. And yeah, the bots are pretty good at figuring out that the end of the sentence is more important than the beginning of the sentence. But it is still it can be quite chaotic to do this. Okay, client, database, plain UIDs. Okay, cool. We have this. Did we pull types from the Supabase database? Which is something that we're going to need. Updating the client to make Supabase more private. Good. Okay, got it. Don't need that. Surprised that you know what? This is still fucked up. Let's keep all. Okay. Make sure that the front end code is actually doing those things. And then I didn't really read what it was, but I had a sense looking at the error here that the front end code is not actually connected as it should be to the rest. Use user should not. That should pull it off of the state, but whatever. We'll come back to that. Game record to DB insert. Game record ID does not exist in. Yeah, that's right. DB game insert. Did we create those? Those did not look like ours. Come on, yeah, it's fucking. I don't know what they, we love using React for, I'll be the first person to say that I'll fuck up a good thing for the sake of using tools that I like. But man, the Cloud Code terminal app is garbage, like garbage. Like it's just not good. I would love it if it was good. I think that the tech is really, really interesting. Of course, it's very it loves to code. Who doesn't? But it is it's just basically unusable once you have some text in here. But maybe we see update the conversion functions to handle JSON types. Okay, so we did get the types out of the database, wherever those are. Don't see them anywhere. Database types. Okay, great. And then that's going to be what we use in normalize, because now we have the actual DB inserts and all that stuff. So we're pulling the data off of the database, or the types off the database. Supabase, that's a really great way of generating types for this, and whoever wrote those types is great. Love it. You do have to remember to update it, which sometimes the bots don't do very well. But once you do have them, then the app, you can have types off your database. No extra thing needed. Use client share modal. Yeah, we don't care about that. I don't even know which tab this is coming from. Maybe stub pages, small pages. Got it. I wish it told you where where are these changes coming from? Which agent made these changes? Which chat window made these changes? Because I, to be honest, see, like I'll do that, which is really annoying because, okay. Because the buttons fucking change position as you're clicking through there. Like sometimes the undo is where the accept button will be. So if you're like me, if you're just clicking, then you will click the undo button by mistake. So cursor, if you're listening, update that. That would be great. Either put it in the corner here so that it's always in a fixed position, or just give me more information. Like, where did that come from? Like, open the window, the agent that made those changes, because if you're doing multiple agents at the same time, then you will often lose where things came from. So okay, I'm gonna clear that. Give me an update on what we've built so far. I can't help but notice this. This is done. Test IDs match UI elements. That's done. Login with Supabase. Okay, front-end code now uses client.auth, client.db. No front-end code directly accesses client.supabase. That's great. Wonderful. Is the user stored in an atom or something reactive inside of or actually, you know what? Is it even just stored in the store? Do we have like a user record? Because that would be handy. All right, so Claude is down, or Cursor's new Composer 1 is down, which is too bad because that was actually running really, really quite well. We are going to switch to Sonnet 4.5, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we'll do Sonnet 4.5. That's too bad. So now we are a full Anthropic house here. The cursor 2.0 just dropped like a couple of hours ago, so I'm sure they're getting a lot. I know that Azure or something is having like problems today, so it could be a lot. The user is currently stored in Auth Manager with a manual subscription pattern, not in the store. The store only has a game record. Is there really any point to this? The user might not be changing very often, if at all. Should we do this, or should we just have it as a normal property? Okay. So where are we with this? We have Playwright end-to-end infrastructure, custom fixtures for authenticated users. That's great. Test utilities for Supabase user creation and cleanup. Tests run across all 3 browsers. That's not what we want. Where the fuck did that come from? We specifically asked for no Firefox, so this might be lying to me. I bet it is. Because yeah, the browsers, it's just right here. Devices, desktop.chrome. I don't know what it's talking about. 3 of 9 tests are passing. The authenticated user fixture works perfectly. That's great. Supabase integration is configured. User authentication system is in place. Database connection is working. Project structure, Next.js, blah, blah, blah. Failing tests, expecting a welcome heading, expects a tarot in the page title. We don't need those. Define what should be built next. All right, you're building a mobile-first tarot reading app with AI-powered chat. Okay, cool. Next.js, failing tests. We don't need the welcome, and we don't need the. But we do need the heading. It should be set to Tarot AI, and you can use the Next.js's metadata thing for that. And then here you go. Yeah, there's no point. Okay, that's fine. Store is better suited for game data. I don't really know how Tarot works. Could you, in the either between like the instance state, or I'm sorry, between the game record, should have the information that is going to be added during the game of Tarot. So we need some sort of like type for like different tarot cards, I'm guessing. And then we will have to have some configuration of those cards. Again, I don't really know how tarot works, but so you're going to have to lead the way here. But the I imagine that data that is unique to the state of the game and the kind of progress of the game should live in the game record. And then in the client, I want to have methods, or maybe we have like client.gameManager that sort of manages the state of a particular game. And that would have methods called such as like next card or something like that, and will manage the whole, all of the events and other things, and expose all the data associated with a game. Okay, so we're having let's see, where is that? That is, okay, so we are doing this as its own, are these just types? Drawn card, spread type, spread configuration, spread configs, okay. So these are all the, interesting, common spread configs. Positions. So there's a set of positions. I should really like have a description of how Tarot works. Page title will now, yes, please run the tests. Okay. Now, because we have different users, we can run those tests in parallel. Like I said, the data won't affect the other users. So we'll keep our database clean, but we'll also be able to blast through these tests. Come on, dude. Would it be crazy to do it this way. I mean, there's reasons why I don't like this thing either. It's like for one thing, you can't paste or drop images into this where you can in the terminal. There's actually kind of a lot. The font size is kind of fixed. Like I just don't really like it. Command menu, just log in. Like I'm pretty sure I'm logged in. Never mind. So that's the only thing that I can change. Can I increase the font size? No, I don't think I can. So I'll just be doomed to hang out with this piece of shit. Fucking flashy little terminal. Okay, current test status. That's an interesting one. 1 of 1 passing. Good. Welcome manages, so leaving the only working one. Good. Taro AI, welcome. Good. All right. Hey, in the README, I want you to have a section that just describes how the game of Taro works. You can go into as much detail as possible, really, and I want this to be a reference for when we kind of are working on the logic of the game. So just make it really good. Cool. Normally, I would be kind of resetting context between each one of these things, but each one of these doesn't really matter. They're very small. Okay. Game manager manages the game. That's great. We have a game record that will include the question, the spread type, drawn cards, revealed card count, status, message. Okay, cool. That is great. Create a hook that will select the current game out of the store. So that is, there's probably a computed property on the client, I want to say, that will have or maybe the game manager that will select the current game out of the store. So, like add computed, get current game that is returning client.store.get, and then the ID of whatever the current game is. And then that should be accessed, or in the front end, that hook should use the use value hook in order to select that out of the, or to subscribe to the reactive value of that computed function. So it's a little bit of a shop talk or terminology for the TealDraw state library, but that's what I'm saying is that the store is full of reactive atoms. It's like a just big old flat list of JSON files that are each reactive. So when one of them changes, it'll kind of call into a life cycle. Other things that are subscribed to that might update based on based on the nature of their subscription and whether how the configs are done. So we will have we will basically have the active, what is it, active game ID, something like that? Yeah, active game ID, which will be used. So the store has all of these, we'll just call this the store. Blub, blub, blub. Okay, so this is the store. This will be saying, hey, give me the game with the active game ID. Whatever game is associated with this active game ID, give me that. And then we will have a use value hook, which will pipe this in and spit out the active game on the front end. So whenever the active game ID changes, this active game will change. and then the front end will be kind of hooked into that. And so the if we're showing something like a header, which is like the active game dot name or something like that. I mean, that doesn't actually exist, or whatever. Turn, something like that. That'll update via React, because one of the components dependencies will have changed, or we'll make sure that the React component updates. That's kind of what the Childra/state React does. This is very similar to any other signal library where you're kind of building up state via relationships to other state, and then subscribing the UI to those changes. So that's what we're doing. We have use active game. Cool. All right. So now our README has big description of how this works. That's great. And now I want to say, okay, can I log in? I'm still getting this. This is garbage. Let me paste this in there. Because it's not. We shouldn't be use user. This should be. Wait, why wouldn't we have the client? Where are we calling use user if we don't have the client? We have this client provider. If we don't have a client, we should be. Yeah. All right. There we go. Client.auth.user. I don't think that's right. Why would this be null? I guess. Well, you know what? Actually, yes, that is correct. But auth should not be undefined. So let me make sure that the client is correctly. Is that auth is new auth manager? So why would that be? Set user client.auth.user. We don't actually need this use like what is this use user? No. That's stupid. Yeah. Update use user. We need to the use user method should be using use value to get the user off of whatever client.auth.user or something like that, or just pulling it off of client.auth.user. I think we wouldn't even ever load this until the user is present. Maybe we will. All right, whatever. Doesn't like Supabase actually give you a use user? Or is that something else? So Supabase React or something like that. All right. Hang on. I don't even know. I think I just put something somewhere that it shouldn't have been. Supabase client.auth.subscribe here. Shouldn't we be doing the whole client.auth.subscribe in the auth manager? Feels like something that we would do when the client is initializing, actually. And yeah, that's right. The all right, hang on. Okay, so when we initialize, we create the client. Auth manager does this. What does auth manager do? And it's here. Yeah, there we go. And I want to notify listeners. Yeah, we do subscribe. Something like that. do we have is a database using Supabase real-time? And do we have subscriptions to update the store when the database changes? We don't really need this, but I kind of want to have it just because I always kind of reach for this pattern anyway. It could be that like I just come up with like a little boilerplate for this this type of like Supabase real-time plus TLDraw state and store. Because I feel like we're doing more plumbing around that than we are building an app. Describes the game tables. Okay, actually, okay, that's great. A little waste of tokens, but they, Sonnet earned it. Good. Hardlining the API key into that. That's not what we want. Well, actually, it's an anonymous key. Who fucking cares? Let's go. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just feed that error in there. We have this. These blah blah blah. I'm closing some tabs here. Is this complete? Status is open. Update the landing page login page or landing login page issue 001 based on what's been achieved already. Completed already. And we might need another Claude here. So we got 1, 2, this is empty. This one's going. Take a look at issue 002 in the issues folder. Is this done? And do you have any notes? There we go. Client not initialized. Why would that be? Why don't we have auth? I thought like we're creating this auth manager here. So why would that? Is this like a, like in what world would there not be a, I'm doing this. Okay. Oh, maybe we're just not creating this. Are we really just not? Hold on, client provider. Where's the client provider? Client context. Client context at provider. I wonder if this is some bullshit. Use ref clients or null. Like there should just never not be a client. Are we getting the client from? Yeah. All right. Why would this? Is this going to be like a? Oh, this is not going to be one of these. The window is not defined. Oh. One of this. What? Oh, I hate this stuff. This is going to be running on the server. I thought we were like deeply used client. I can't just have everything page. Okay, good. Layout here. Yeah, but I can't do this on this. Export metadata use client, which is disallowed. Either remove that. How How do you, man. All right, hang on. Look, we need to create a nested route. It doesn't have to be an actual route. It can be one of those like kind of fake routes, essentially nested layouts. We need the layout to be not use client, but we do need to use client for like everything else. So I think it's like create a folder with like a parenthetical of like whatever game, and then we'll do all of the stuff beneath that as use client. Let's see what we get. This kind of thing, like I feel so bad for folks who are programming using these tools that don't actually know what they're doing, because like that kind of thing, how would you know? Like how would you ever know? You like the AIs might be able to help you, but like that type of thing is just mysterious. What is it? Hydration? Never heard that before in my life. How do you expect people to run with that? I mean, it's one of the reasons why I think Vite is such a powerful framework right now. Is just because, you know what, SPAs, like the mental model is just so much simpler. I think some of the data fetching stuff like that Next.js used to have a little bit better. That said, I also did our blog using Next.js, and it was great. So the server-side stuff was great for that type of content. All right. Now use auth page, game page. All right, there we go. Still hydration error, did not find. Why would that be? Should I just do an effect? Am I just doing it wrong? Might be just doing it wrong. Let me see. Email passwords. All right, that's ugly, but whatever. Layout, that's fine. Page is here. Authguard is main. Authguard is going to put us to here. And that's inside a game, right? That's this. But are we wrapping that in? No, we're not. We need it to be like yes, but we need to do this. So like landing page inner, something like that, I think. Turn client provider. So it's on the layout as well. I don't think we need this. Oh, come on, man. So we're still getting this hydration error, even though we're not using the client provider anywhere. Why would that be? Why would that be? The reason for that is not known to me. Let's see what these guys can make out of it. We might not need the changes that we made. So we're getting a hydration error, which means that the Next.js is rendering the app, and then it's doing that on the server, and it's sending it down, and then it's sending the bundle, which attaches everything to the page. However, that relies that the page that is rendered on the client is the same as the page that is rendered on the server. And so it still didn't do it. And if those are wrong, or if they're different, then that's a problem. I'm trying to see where they would be different. It doesn't really seem like a lot of opportunities for things to be different yet. The only thing that is maybe complicated is that we're hinging off of this, whether there's a client or not. But the thing is, we should, all right, now we got this. What is that? All right, that was the whole like setting the client. We still need a client provider. Okay, let's see what we can do. Client not initialized. So, okay, hold on. Cart horse. We need a client, but we can't have that because why? Why not? Not client at current. We'll go back to will that still give me yeah, okay. So I'm getting client not initialized when I try and sign in. Could you figure out why that is? Or sign up, rather. The client should be initial. I mean, we're doing it here. Why wouldn't that? Sometimes this is async, so sometimes it's best to wait for everything to sort of get done before you do this. Yeah, all right. Let's do async. Wait. Because we're, no, wait. No, okay. I'm surprised that this doesn't, I don't know. Hang on. You state for the client, now use rep. Oh, Christ. All right, good. Better. Still, that's still the problem. Where are we trying to access it? Client.auth. Have we even like, okay, we are, but the client only has a store. So what is going on? All right. Use client, use context, client context. That is that. We're creating a new client. The thing constructs, creates a client, and then it does this. So in what world are we not? Would the client only have store? Like, how strange is that? Where is that coming from? Or I'm just maybe like debugger. Like we should get there. That's so strange. Why would it not be getting there? It's the Supabase. Why would the client not be constructing? Am I? All right, you know what? I'm going to do this. Async initialize. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. We're just going to move it all into this. But I don't want to. I don't want to at all. I've never, this is where I am confused. We are creating a new client. Are we not? Are we not creating a new client? Why wouldn't the constructor of this client be firing? Yeah, we're here. I'm going back to this again. And I'm going to wait. Let's make sure this and this. And then let's try. I just can't imagine why this wouldn't be. Why wouldn't this client be being built? I mean, like, yeah, right? Like, am I losing my mind? All right, I gotta ask a question. Hey, for some reason, the constructor of the client is not actually like running. Like, it has a store property, but it doesn't have like auth DB game. Like when I log it at runtime, it just only has the store. It has like nothing else. What the fuck is going on? I have to say I've never seen that before. Where, yeah, that makes me think that this isn't actually running or something. But no, it is. It is. There we go. Look, that's yeah, big ol' you know, has a store. It's history, all that. Um, I guess I could do this. Now does it still have a store? Yeah, it still has the store. All right. Now, see, now I'm actually having to think, which is annoying. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna get rid of this each time, but it still just has the store. It's just so strange because the anything that I put in the constructor of the client is not actually happening. So what is going on? Does this need no, it has use client. What if I don't have use client? All right, no, that doesn't matter. This video might be fucking trashed because I can't figure out how JavaScript is working here. Don't need that. I think it's like, it seems like the modules like have a bug in it or something like that. Like, oh yeah. Hey, could you add DB ID to the game record? So I want the game record to actually store the ID of the database object from which it was created. And I think we're going to have to create the game records on the store if the user logs in and doesn't have any. So we've kind of been backwards. We're kind of like creating the game records and the other things like on the client at the moment, but really we should be creating them on the server and then like receiving them from the server into our local state. Does that make sense? Hang on. Let me pass this on. I might have to just edit this whole thing out because it's it's turning into a ridiculous waste of time. I'm almost on 2 hours here, and yeah, I love to code, but I don't like to code this much. This is game record type dot create ID. Okay, so here, sorry, I'm kind of fading here. Yeah. We are, the machine basically just did a few things wrong. I think this might be a failed situation again, which is too bad because I was hoping to get a bunch done. No, DB ID is this create IDs, game record type, update the store immediately. Are we really updating the store? Constant existing record, is this the sort and update. You know what? Yeah, that's hard. We're gonna, whether we put a new record or not is just the same, but we will be updating all of it. Instance state records, likewise, I need to do it like this. Create game record type dot create ID. Yeah, like this. We shouldn't have an instance state backing for this, but yeah. All right. Like the instance state is local. That's fine. And yeah, we should have all the other things. So we are creating game IDs based on the database ID, basically. Now this is complicated because we're going to be updating this anyway, or it's going to update anyway. Once we put it in. So we're creating a thing, then we're creating a record locally. We've also set it up so that, like, hey, when we create stuff, update our thing based on that. Here comes Claude. Why wouldn't this be the case? All right, I think that's right. This is all the place where we're kind of juggling the data back and forth between the database and here. I have no idea what Claude is up to. What are you up to, man? That is not the case. What are you talking about? Elements descriptors.kind should be method or field, but a decorator created an element descriptor with .kind undefined. What is that? All right, I'm starting to slow down here. Okay, this is the at computed, and that is most likely a client activity. But that's not right. Nope. No, no, no. No. Don't do that. You big dummy. Replace symbol is what I want. Say symbol, edit symbol. I just want to, but they reset my goddamn keyboard settings. Hey, you changed my keyboard settings. Command Shift L used to be like select all instances of this symbol. I want that back. No, it's not that. There we go. I do not want that. I want it to be. I want to remove key binding. Remove key binding. There we go. There we go. All right. I still don't understand that. The client, I don't think we have it computed anywhere, or do we? Does that change things? Yeah, okay. Hey, how do we get TypeScript and everything to recognize the at computed? So look, the text is all dying. This is game record. We need to kill this and start over. Wonderful. I have a feeling it'll do the same thing that happened before. Invalid. Okay, okay, that's progress. That's great. Whoa. Once I do, I get a refer loop between the tarot page, the start page, I think, and the login page. When I try to log in, I'm able to log in, but once I get through, it kicks me into this kind of like refresh loop between the start page and the landing page, or the auth page. Okay, where are we? Why would that be? The auth guard? Yes. This should be able to do that. Put the client back at the root level, which might cause some issues. Still the same problem. As soon as I log in, it sends me into a big old loop. I still think that this useauth is, yeah, it's doing this. It's like client.auth isn't, like, why would it have, why would it have that? Use, there should never not be a client. All right. Client.auth the user, right? Why would there not be a user? Use maybe user. Where are we even calling use user? Here? Use maybe user? All right, hang on. Let's see if actually, nope, that, I think we had it right. Let's forget this whole use user bullshit, and we will just do this. Yes, if not client, session end. And then we're going to do this. Oh. All right, that works. Okay, let's. I want to see if the other agent is back. I think that would be cool to use again. All right, we made it through the auth. Can you please set up the start page? If there's a ticket for this, you could use that to guide your work. Cool. Let's clean up some of these. All right, so we had a couple of bullshit things having to do with the client and hydration, and there's some kind of ghosts in our user as well. But we now have a start page, so we can now do this. Great. Now let's also do the reading page. For this, we're probably going to need to set up an API route that will talk to the AI SDK for that. I can get you the latest docs for the latest version of AI SDK. Otherwise, try and find them yourself. Now we're just kind of like we're rolling, right? So this will be the reading, but we can choose our spread, the type of reading, single card, 3 cards. My understanding of this is that the yeah, I think single card must be kind of cheap, right? That must be kind of the discount way of doing tarot. But you know, if you're a pro, then you'll probably want to have either a 3 card spread to describe your past, your present, and your future, or even get up to 5 cards that have to do with relationships. And the interpretation of these cards is going to be the kind of complicated part, but we will use AI for that. And right now we're kind of doing all of the logic, probably too much of the logic, to be honest, inside of the page. But let me. Hey, we have a game manager Game manager, client.game. Are we using that? Yeah. Yeah, I don't think we were. Use the client.game correctly. Improving message syncing. Use chat manages its own state, so we should sync response back to the game store properly. Updating the reading page accordingly. All right. Yeah, that's Chuchin. Let me see. I haven't really read these. Okay, so this is the API key. And let me get my OpenAI key, which I store very safely on Make Real. And I will have to do this over here. Hopefully we don't leak it. But let me get that down here. That's my teal draw. A couple bugs which I should be addressing. Do we not have an end file? Sorry. All right. Yeah. Env.local. Oh, there's the key. I have to remember to roll that. Okay. What are we doing? Use chat, AI, React. Do we have this installed? Maybe not. There's some errors. AI, React should probably just be AI, right? Yeah, interesting that this new cursor model is kind of makes some interesting spelling mistakes. I'm not really used to that. Like, I don't need max tokens at all. All right. Okay. Reading / page. What is use chat? Where does that come from? Okay. Okay. Got it. Got it. Single card. Let's go. Will I ever read a book again? Okay. Well, it should have my thing here, but let me see. Cards already drawn. Okay. Okay, we're ready to start working out the game. Please write the end-to-end tests for the start page and the game page. You'll need to mock the AI responses. They don't need to be much. This thing is really just moving. I don't know. What is it doing? Oh, there we go. Yeah. Never mind. Stop. I got it. Client dot there and there we go. All right. Here, drawing cards. Cannot find the drawing cards columns of games in the schema cache. So now we're firmly into the space where I just start posting errors in the console or to the bot until everything just starts working again. So this is also where the end-to-end test will really come in handy, because if we set the end-to-end test up better, then the AI can just kind of like churn on it. Fix the type error. Fix the type error in the reading page. Something like the API parameter of the use chat isn't right. Did that go through? No? Hello, can you fix the type error in the reading page? Okay, that makes sense. Still this. Bloop. Do we need to just like reset the database or something? Yeah, okay. So now we're resetting the Supabase database, which means I will probably have to log out. But there might not be a way to log out. And sometimes you can get stuck like this with the database will be cleared. You won't have a user anymore, but you'll still sort of have like a cookie or something like that. So it'll think that you're logged in, but then it'll be like, I can't find a user for you, but you are logged in. Just trust me. It's just I don't have a user for you, and that's annoying. Okay, good. Here we are. We're in. The database still says that it doesn't have a. Okay, yeah. So when we're mapping back to the record, we're not doing that correctly. Question should be a string, but I managed to get through without that. Actually, you let me get through to the page, leaving the input blank. It should have stopped me if I tried to get through without asking a question first. So I think that actually was correct. It just was not what we expected. So the UI was letting me get to the page, leaving that input blank, undefined, and then it was throwing an error because it tried to put that into the database, and This is one of those places where having runtime validation is really useful, because it's like, hey, you screwed up. You put something in here that was undefined, and it shouldn't have been undefined. It should have been defined. And like this one right here, which is good. That's what we want. Is this gonna work? Reveal next card. My card reversed. Oh, this is corrupt again. Come on, man. So, is this working? Hello? It should be making requests and stuff. I don't even know if it is. Maybe not. Okay. All right. Invalid prompt. Message should be a model message. All right. Role user. So we need to convert our UI messages to model messages. That's interesting. What about now? It says it's complete. Who is my father? Okay, let's start. So we are sending it to the chat. We're not getting anything back. Hey, when I send a message to the chat, I don't get anything back. Like it says the post is complete, but it never sends anything back to me. It doesn't log anything into the console or anything else on the back end. Can I flip these? Reveal next card. Present, upright, future, reversed. That sounds about right. I actually don't know how I'm supposed to play this game. Like, what's the first thing that I do? It should be like every time that I flip a card, the AI is prompted with my question, and then the whole conversation. Basically, that the flipping of a card should be like a new message to the AI saying, like, the user has flipped this card, and it should reply with an interpretation of the tarot reading, basically the reading. And we should be getting that back before I flip the next card. Or essentially the flip should be a prompt to the chat bot. Oh, yeah, there we go. Greetings, Seeker. I sense a journey awaits you. All right, let's go. That's good. 3-card spread. How tall am I, or will I be, when I am all grown up? Welcome, Seeker. I'm honored to guide you through this mystical journey. Let's unveil the cards and see what insights they hold regarding your growth. Please reveal the first card when you're ready. Reveal next card. Oh, there we go. The Chariot, a powerful symbol of determination and triumph. In the past position, this suggests that I've experienced a period of significant drive and focus. That is absolutely true. You may have faced challenges head on, creating momentum in your life through willpower and determination. You're just talking to me. Just how do you know? This foundation of courage has likely set up the stage for your present circumstances, reminding you that you possess the strength to steer your own path. Let's reveal the next card. That is the upright. The Ace of Cups radiates joy and emotional renewal. Hey, I have a feeling that when I reveal a card, the thing that's shown on the card is not like the card. It should at least show the name of the card. Ideally, you'd be pulling images if you can find either online or something that I can download that contains all the images of the cards. I'm happy to download something, but yeah. Either way, you should at least have the names on the cards when I reveal them. Keep all these. Do this. The Ace of Cups radiates joy and emotional renewal. In present position, this card signifies a blossoming of new feelings, creativity, and connections in your life. It invites you to open up your heart, embrace love, and explore the depths of your emotions. Interesting. This is a time for nurturing relationships and allowing your intuition to guide you, an affirmation that your past determination is now bearing fruit, leading you to beautiful new beginnings. Whenever you feel ready, please reveal the next card. All right. So the use of the chat UI isn't really necessary, is it? The Ace of Wands, when reversed, suggests a potential struggle with creativity or motivation in the future position. You may find, wow, this is really reading my life here. Why does it keep scrolling? What is causing the... Hey, why does this app keep scrolling? Like it's constantly like scroll jacking or changing the scroll position. Is this like when new things come in from the chat? Should I just put the chat on the side of the screen rather than in the front if it's going to be jacking my scroll? Super annoying. All right. I wish after I'd prompt I had the chance to like accept the previous things. Remember the energy. Remember the energy from the Chariot and the emotional renewal of the Ace of Cups can help you to navigate these challenges. Stay connected to your inner drive and allow for gentle exploration of what ignites your spirit. Well, that's fantastic. Love it. Yes, but how tall will I be when I grow up? Great. So, I wonder what the difference of, yeah, let's see. The future mysteries are often less about the specifics. Trust your growth both physically and personally. That's fantastic. So design note, having the big card when I reveal it is not good. Like we should just keep the three cards like kind of the same size as what they are. And it might be better to put the cards either above the chat or some other way, put the chat off to the side or something else like on desktop maybe, because it's it's not really working the way that it is. I know that the wireframes in the description probably have it that way, but design feedback, it's not very good. Okay, only scroll when a new message is added. Probably never want it to scroll. That would be better. And if it does scroll, then it needs to scroll correctly. This is great. I was thinking maybe we could do the share thing, but I think it's been like 3 hours, so maybe that's not what we're gonna do. Let me give some more feedback here. Is this full height? Let's make the chat full height on desktop, and then center the cards on the left on desktop and make them slightly larger on desktop. On mobile, we'll need to put the cards above the chat and kind of have them click one by one, and then have the chat kind of fill the rest of the device screen that way. There's no reason for the page to ever scroll. I want to see if it ever came up with the images of the. You know, would it be possible for us to generate images like for these tarot cards automatically, or should I just find a bunch of them? I'm just gonna find a bunch of them. Chat. Hey, where can I find open source or Creative Commons images for tarot cards? I'm making a tarot cards app and I want tarot cards. Find this. This is great. I want to be the best vibe coder in the world. That's my ambition. Pretty jet lagged right now. I flew back from Chicago yesterday. I'm back here in London. I woke up at 1 in the morning. It's now 9 p.m. So there's no other way to do it, though. There's no other way to fix the sleep. You just gotta power through. Like as the AI suggested, it's about taking the past strength and really connecting emotionally with the present in order to a struggle of motivation. Maybe not. Yeah, that's good. Wikimedia Commons, tarot cards, blah, blah, blah. Are there really no, like, just collections or websites you can point to me where I can find images that I can use for all the cards? Tarot playing cards. But yeah, these aren't going to be individual cards. I want like the stack of all of them, not individual. Like this looks fun, but I want like just, give me like however many cards there are images. Is that too much to ask? All right, let's do that. Roger, wait. Rider, wait, tarot. Images, download. Oh boy, 378 megabytes. All right, fuck it, let's go. That's a lot. Wow. This is a drive of just the black and white ones. Let's try that one as well. Who's going to be fast? Black and white ones seem to be faster. I don't know why VLC opens my RAR files. That seems like too much. Open with. Oh, I don't actually have anything that uncompresses RAR files. Huh. And they're both RAR files. Oh. 7-zip. Do we still do 7-zip? No, it's Kika. What is it? Kika zip. Kika iOS file unarchiver. Download Maxstar. Open this. Click on this. Buy it. Oh my god. Download it. I mean, I appreciate it. Love software. Huge fan of paying for software actually, but I've already broken out my credit card once for this. I don't really want to do it again. But let me. Yes. Downloads. I need this to open with Kika. I think the black and white ones are probably more our speed, given. Boom. Excellent. All right. Let me chuck all this stuff into ImageOptim so that we can reduce their size. Let's also optimize the images for web. These are just my own shortcuts here, which should, if that actually runs, create smaller versions of them that are WebPs, which are not that much smaller, to be honest. All right, let me see this. We're going to take all of these. We're going to just do the kind of lazy thing and put them into right into our public folder. Oh, it's this one. Get them all there. Which one of you can see the best? I've just added images for the tarot cards into the public folder. Can you clean up the file names, and then can you use the images for the tarot cards inside of our app? I think that's it. All right. Yeah, let me do it again. I want a Claude to be on. We're basically done looking at code for the rest of this session. Run the tests. You should be able to do the whole game now. If you've set things up correctly. All right. Checking Twitter. I do love to tweet. I do love to post. It's my joy. This is crazy though. Who let this happen? Is this like Cursor fucking with Claude just for fun? Like, are they? Is this a competitive thing? Go on. I have to say though, the Composer one is pretty impressive as a. Yes. Okay. Good. Cup spawns, etc. Terror images. Util. Does that mean? Yay! Look at that. Chariot is broken. Double check the names. So now we have our Ace of Cups, our Ace of Wands reversed, etc. That's pretty cool. Can I do another reading? I want a relationship reading. I want to say... I want a career reading. I want to say... where will my startup, Teal Draw, a very good whiteboard SDK, be in 5 years? Well, this is dangerous. See, I'm asking the real questions. All right, the UI also looks bad. Revealing the next card. That's the Ace of Cups reverse, which we've just learned is quite positive. Speaking of emotional blockage or discontent, in the context of your startup Teal Draw, this might signify a period where creativity or inspiration feels stalled, or where you might be struggling to connect with your vision. It's important to take a moment to assess what might be causing these feelings. Perhaps nurturing your inner passion or seeking feedback from others could reignite your drive. Feel free to reveal the next card whenever you're ready. I think that's probably true for every startup founder, so I'll take it. Good one, Tarot. Strengths, the magician, broken image. The magician is also broken. The magician upright shines brightly in the strengths position, indicating your immense. Can you make the AI also read the message out loud? Is that something the AI SDK can do? Indicating your immense potential and resourcefulness. Oh, thank you. You possess the skills, creativity, and confidence to manifest your ideas, making it clear that you have the power to turn your vision for Teal into a reality. Embrace this energy, harness your talents to channel your desires into tangible outcomes. That's good advice. Who needs a mentor? Next one, Ace of Wands. We'll wait for this one to continue. Did I not get an Ace of Wands? Oh yeah, Ace of Wands in the upright position, occupying the obstacles position, suggests, suggests that while you possess great enthusiasm and potential in moving forward, there may be external distractions or unforeseen challenges. The scroll position keeps on changing. And potential moving forward invites you to identify what might be dampening your bold ambitions. Perhaps a lack of focus or an overextension in your efforts could be in play. Embrace your passion, but ensure that you channel it thoughtfully to overcome these obstacles. It's not bad. Gotta say, not bad. I can see why people pay for this, but I don't need to. I have the AI. It's running it in headed mode. That's annoying. The Fool, in the upright position, brings a beautiful message of new beginnings and embracing the unknown. In the guidance position, it encourages you to take a leap of faith and trust the journey ahead with Teal. This card embodies the spirit of adventure and optimism, reminding you that the path might be uncertain, yet ripe with possibilities. Allow yourself to be open to new experiences, for they may lead to unexpected joy and insight. If you're ready, please reveal the final card. This is the Death card. No, the Chariot reversed. This doesn't really answer my question very well, which is about Teal's future. But anyway, the Chariot in reverse serves as a gentle reminder of potential obstacles or lack of direction in your path forward. In the context of your career journey with Teal, this card suggests that momentum may feel stalled or that conflicting forces are pulling you in different directions. It encourages you to find inner balance and clarity before charging ahead, perhaps taking time to reassess your goals and aligning them with your true aspirations will pave the way for success. Reflect on all the cards revealed in this reading. They weave a narrative of growth, potential, and need for balance. If you have any questions or wish to explore further, I am here to support you. Thank you. That's very kind. What valuation is right for a Series B based on these cards? I mean, we got to know, right? It's got to be a Series B. While tarot offers insightful guidance in your mindset, but it does not provide concrete answers for financial matters such as valuation. Well, that's not very helpful. I wonder why these aren't loading. Magician.webp. Do we just not have a magician? Yeah, that's weird. Cups King, Knight, Page, Queen. Well, what's a magician? We're doing it text to speech this way. Fixed the renaming of. Yeah, we have a lot of cards. We have a lot of cards here that, like the magician or other things that don't seem to correspond to the tarot cards that we have. We have wands, swords, pentacles, and cups, but that's not really what we're seeing in the data that we have. Do we have the wrong data, or am I just have the wrong deck of cards? We have aces, but like, two of cups or something, like that doesn't seem like something that we're going to run into unless only minor arcana code basic deck includes major arcana. Updating the deck to remove all the major arcana, including the minor. Okay. Gotcha. So, I guess tarot is not as monolithic as I thought it was. A couple different ways to play it. The game that would explain a few things. Let's get it going. Now, I think this is one of those stages of the app where
it seems like your message might have been cut off or entered.
Audio.
Thank you for your patience. Thank you for your patience. If you have any questions or if there's something specific you'd like to explore further, whether related to your tarot reading or any other matter, just let me know. I'm here to guide you.
Hold on. All right, let's try this one more time. 3-card spread, past, present, and future. Hey, what do we do with the political divisiveness in the United States? That really drove me nuts when I was back in home, and it's kind of freaking me out a little bit. What's the future of the United States of America? Just something light, something for the fun, for the kids. We'll need the audio for that in order to have a comedic relief.
The Three of Pentacles reversed graces your past. This card often reflects a time of disarray or lack of collaboration. Perhaps there were
misunderstandings or conflicts that prevented constructive dialogue within your community. In the context of political divisiveness, it suggests that efforts to build unity and understanding may have faltered, leading to further estrangement and frustration. Take heart, for recognizing this aspect of the past can help guide you towards more harmonious solutions. Whenever you're ready, please reveal your next card. The Knight of Swords reversed. The Knight of Swords reversed appears in your present, suggesting a phase of confusion or hasty decisions that may not serve you well. This card can reflect impulsive thoughts or actions, perhaps leading to misunderstandings or a scatter of energy without clear direction. A connection with your question calls for mindfulness and a reevaluation of your communication and intentions to avoid further entanglement in divisive narratives. Look, I live in England. I've moved on, but not really. The Seven of Cups reversed shines a light on the future where clarity and focus emerge from the chaos. That's wonderful. This card often hints at overcoming illusions and making grounded choices, moving away from distractions to pursue what really matters to you. In the context of your overall reading, it suggests that by navigating the challenges of the past and the present with intention, you'll find yourself gaining clear insights and the ability to make decisions that align with your authentic desires. Trust in this journey towards discernment, as it promises a path of deep understanding. If you have any further questions or thoughts about your reading, feel free to share. So are we getting fascism or not? That's my question. Are we going full fash or half fash? Because I think at the moment we're 3/4. Ultimately, the direction of societal outcomes depends on individual and collective actions. All right, no hasty decisions when it comes to the future of the country. Failed to create game and database. That's not good. But you know what? I think a few things. I'm going to wrap up here. The game works. We vibe coded it. It actually, it's a novel experience. Like, it is kind of what I wanted here, which is to have an AI tarot reader. We were able to log in. I don't know if it's saving to the database, but I should at least dump this into here while we go. We have images thanks to ChatGPT and a little bit of scripts that I had on my computer. These little examples are great. The AI is a pretty good tarot reader, I have to say, and I'm going to stay up all night thinking about Tealdraw's bold ambitions and creative frustration. Right on the money, just on the nose. I got my money's worth. The UI looks serviceable. I think it does work pretty poorly on mobile, but that's something that would come next. And yeah, I'm not going to host it, but I think it would work. Host it as well. So as far as a hackathon project, I think we're doing this in about let me look at OBS. Just under 3 hours, 2 hours and 45 minutes. As far as our technical implementation goes, I probably could have done this entirely locally without any authentication or database. Like that probably would have been a better way to keep this maybe an hour shorter, right? Maybe even more than that, since we kind of complicated things. I think using Tealdraw State and using like a signals library for this, it did probably help us more than is evident in this example, like more than what we saw. In other words, we probably skipped some bugs that we just didn't run into, and the runtime validation was useful. But and by the way, the Tealdraw State libraries are MIT, so go nuts with them. They're fantastic. They happen to be the way that I'm kind of used to building, just because I've spent so much time inside of our code base. But yeah, we could have probably done a simpler or more simple way of doing this, and probably one that is more in line with Next.js. So we could have used or continued to use Vite, maybe plus a Cloudflare worker, in order to kind of go back and forth as like a provisional backend. That probably would have avoided some of the headaches, or just the sense that like we were swimming upstream, that we were asking the AIs to use these tools in ways that they weren't super used to. And what else? We just bring myself back up on here. We I probably would have skipped the database entirely, just because this is just more important just to be in the client. Adding database on top of it later is sometimes pretty hard. And even though we aren't going super far on this, I do feel confident that we had a pretty good environment to code into, and that if we did want to go further with this, that we probably could. The tests all work, I believe, and they probably fixed a lot of bugs in the background. Just having the end-to-end tests written and being able to kind of fuzz, or not fuzz, but just chunk over the UI as it's being built, and it really depends on how much they mocked. So how many of the tests actually tested the application versus just sort of tested themselves, which is a problem that I often see in end-to-end tests here. So this is all of the tests that we have. I didn't spend too much time reading them. We're not showing the chat message. Should display user and AI chats correctly. Handle multiple messages in the conversation. I don't know what is failing here. Assistant messages that count. Okay, so the assistant is not replying to us essentially in this, which doesn't really surprise me. And yeah, so all of this has to do with assistant messages that count, but the rest of it is pretty accurate. Like that, we do want to disable the the thing. We do want to send a prompt. We should have the start page, and I should be able to select things and enter a question. And once I go to the next page, it should start reading page. We're able to log in. So this is, I'm pretty confident in this setup. If we did want it to add complexity on top of it and push it a little bit further. So yeah, that is extreme vibe coding. Probably not as funny or as entertaining as the one that I did previously, but I think this type of thing is it's probably one of the more useful things that one could be learning right now, and is fascinating. I mean, I love this stuff. As someone who's been programming for maybe not that long, but last 10 years, I guess, or 8 years. Anyway, really cool to see what can be done in 3 hours. And yeah, of course, using AI to read a fortune is great. Hadn't seen it before, so there you go. Extreme vibe coding. Stay tuned for the next episode. I'm Steve Ruiz, TLDraw, tlddraw.com, tlddraw.dev. Please buy a business license for the SDK. It's what keeps these lights on. And yeah, take care. Bye.